Hello and welcome to the daily English news program in Azerbaycan Television. With you, your host Rövşən Məmmədov, with the most important events of the day. On August 31st, President İlham inaugurated in a video format another modular hospital of the health center of the Ministry of Emergency Situations for the treatment of coronavirus patients.
Events held in a video format require special technical skills and each moment should be worked out in detail. The pleased anticipation of the technical and medical staff before inauguration is also understandable. Commissioning of another hospital means additional opportunities in the fight against the coronavirus. The decision on the construction of modular type hospitals had been taken before the time when the virus spread in Azerbaijan. The following events confirmed that targeted instructions of President İlham played an essential role in keeping the disease under control. The modular type hospitals commissioned so far around the country have been built in the shortest time and created additional opportunities in the fight against the disease. In the hospital, each bed is provided with devices connected to the oxygen supply line. The equipment, in accordance with the most modern standards, makes it possible to treat patients with coronavirus faster and better. One of Azerbaijan's advantages in the fight against the virus are the leading places in the world in terms of the number of tests per capita. One of them is being commissioned in a modular hospital health center of the Ministry of Emergency Situations, and the treatment process will be carried out in a centralized manner. The data management system allows to monitor medical processes both inside and outside the hospital.
Bugün ülkemizde yeni büyük hastahane açılır.
President İlham noted that the commissioned medical institution is one of the largest hospitals in the country, equipped with modern medical equipment, expressed confidence that the activities of the new hospital will play a vital role in the fight against COVID-19. The head of state stressed that all this testifies to Azerbaijan's successful fight against COVID-19. Speaking about state care for doctors' cooperation with World Health Organization, Azerbaijan's humanitarian aid to other countries in connection with this pandemic, President İlham noted that active work is currently underway with several companies to deliver the COVID vaccine to Azerbaijan. Underlining the importance of civilian responsibility in the fight against the virus, the head of state said that punishments are applied to all categories of people. No discrimination should be allowed or is allowed. In particular, President İlham said that the pandemic has had a negative impact on both the country's economy and the social situation of the people. Tangible steps are being taken to reduce the consequences of this impact. About 5 million people are covered by a large social package. Both the public and private sectors, as well as the unemployed, including those working informally, vulnerable people, all categories of people are provided with financial support by the state. This shows once again that the well-being of people, their social status and of course their health is a key issue for the government. From the very first days of the pandemic, I said that human health is a priority for us and we have made every effort to address the issue. Of course, under such circumstances, economic difficulties were inevitable, but I think that the economic situation in Azerbaijan is better than in other countries. We are well aware that in some developed countries, the economic downturn during the pandemic is at the level of 10, 15, 20, 25%. It's also at high level in developed European countries. As a result of the measures taken in our country, the economy fell by only 2.8% in 7 months. Given the global landscape, I think this is a good indicator, the head of state emphasized. Head of the Department for Organization of Medical and Psychological Aid of the Ministry for Emergency Situations, Major of Medical Service Hanım Safiyeva, expressed gratitude to President İlham and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva for the creation of this medical institution and spoke with satisfaction about the work carried out by the state to strengthen social protection of medical workers and doctors. She noted that the modular hospital of the health center of the Ministry of Emergency Situations is provided with the latest medical equipment. This in turn will create ample opportunities for organizing the high-level treatment of patients with coronavirus.
On August 30th, the inauguration of the Sembek Heights, a new military historical museum complex of the Great Patriotic War, was held in the Rostov region of the Russian Federation. Russian Russia 24 and Russia 1 TV channels broadcast reportages highlighting heroism of the 416th Taganrog Division, consisting mainly of Azerbaijanis. The reportages featured an interview with President İlham.
On August 31st, inauguration of the Sembek Heights, a new military historical museum complex, took place in the Rostov region. This museum, that wasn't coincidentally referred to as People, was created on the initiative of veterans and sculptors. Sembek is a place of fierce fighting, both in 1941 when the Nazis attacked Rostov and when our people went on the attack in 1943. The height is important not only for Russia but also for Azerbaijan. President of Azerbaijan also spoke about these events. The museum complex is located in an area where the real battles took place. The 160-kilometer Mius is a 14.5-hectare battlefield along the front line. The regional governor, Vasily Golubyev, said that destruction, barbarism and inhumane acts committed by the Hitlerites in our country had never been seen before. The memory of veterans and participants of the Great Patriotic War is cherished in every family. In the spring of 2017, 325 fighters were honorably buried in the Alley of Glory, and the names of 19 of them have been identified. The Military Historical Museum complex consists of 8 open spaces, including the Information and Exhibition Center, a small church, an amphitheater, and an apple orchard. Models of Hitler's fortifications were also built here. About 3,000 kilometers of trench were dug on the front line alone. That's twice the distance to Berlin. Sembek Heights are a series of heights, hills and mountains on the southern slopes of the Donetsk region on the right bank of the Mius River. The highest of these mountains in Saur Magila, 4 kilometers away. Its height is 277.9 meters. Here, Sembek is at an altitude of 100 meters above sea level. The Nazis did everything possible to make them inaccessible. The first memorial to the warriors of the Mius front was erected here in 1980 in honor of the 35th anniversary of the victory. This memorial was built at the expense of the Republic of Azerbaijan and with its active participation. A delegation led by Heydar Aliyev attended the opening ceremony. According to the national leader Heydar Aliyev, the magnificent monument erected on the Donland is a sign of respect and gratitude to the noble memory of all the heroes of Rostov region and the Azerbaijani workers who survived and died in these battles. President İlham Aliyev said more than 90% of soldiers in the 416th Taganrog Rifle Division, which liberated the Rostov region, were originally from Azerbaijan. The 416th Taganrog Division liberated not only Rostov, but also the entire Rostov region, including the city of Taganrog, after the division was named into the Taganrog Division. The head of state also noted that the cities of Melitopol, Chisinau and Odessa were also liberated by 416th Division. This division was especially distinguished in the successful Mozdok operation. In fact, this operation prevented the capture of Baku by the Nazis. Otherwise, the consequences of the Great Patriotic War would have been catastrophic. At the time, Azerbaijan supplied 80% of the fuel, of 90% of the lubricants for the front line. If Azerbaijan and its oil fields had fallen into the hands of the Nazis, the outcome of the war would have been completely different. Iran did not attract the Nazis only as a source of grain with endless fertile fields. The gates of the Caucasus, the roads to Maykop, Grozny, Baku and then to Persian Gulf began here. During the 6 months that the 416th Division was on the Mius front, he suffered heavy losses and changed personnel 3 times. Azerbaijan has made a worthy contribution to our common victory. A total of 128 heroes of the Soviet Union are originally from Azerbaijan. Military hardware was produced in Azerbaijan. The enterprises worked day and night. The head of state said that 416th Division also distinguished itself in the capture of Berlin. The Kaiser Wilhelm Palace was captured by the soldiers of this division. A group of servicemen led by Azerbaijani Lieutenant Majidov set the victory flag over the Brandenburg Gate. According to the report, these rare shots and pictures showed the May 2, 1945 flag of victory flying over the symbol of Berlin. One of the participants of those events greets the regime and comrades in his native mountain village, surrounded by 37 grandchildren and 19 great-grandchildren. World War II veteran Alish Khalilov greeted all the surviving soldiers of the Taganrog Division and congratulated them on the opening of the museum. We honored sacred memory of those who gave their lives for our common victory. Veterans in Azerbaijan are surrounded by attention and care. We have always spoken out and continue to speak out against the glorification of the Nazis to preserve the historical truths about the role of the Soviet Union in the victory over fascism. I'm sure that the opening of the new memorial will show this. We are trying to make sure that future generations do not forget the courage of our fathers and grandfathers, remember our common victory as a sacred value, know the truth about those who made a significant and decisive contribution to our common victory, said President İlham and congratulated the veterans, the peoples of Russia and Azerbaijan on the opening of this memorial complex and wished the veterans good health and prosperity. Thousands of artifacts collected from the family archives of veterans and the battlefield are displayed in the museum complex. The application of the latest technologies in the creation and operation of the museum is widely covered.
Germany-based European news agency published an article headlined "Mehriban Aliyeva, a woman for peace," highlighting multifaceted activities of First Vice President of Azerbaijan, President of the Aliyev Foundation, Goodwill Ambassador of UNESCO and ISESCO, Mehriban Aliyeva. Working side by side with President İlham Aliyev, Mehriban Aliyeva is making a great contribution to the dynamic development, prosperity and further strengthening of Azerbaijan. Direct involvement in the development of modern and independent Azerbaijan, solution of social issues, adherence to the ideas of mercy and morality, constant desire to extend a helping hand and to do good is the life credo of Mehriban Aliyeva. It's the philosophy of a modern woman, serving her country and the peace. Azerbaijani community of Azerbaijani Nagorno-Karabakh region issued a statement on the 27th anniversary of Gubadli district's occupation by the Armenian armed forces. The statement said that Armenia's occupation of 7 surrounding regions, including Gubadli, outside of the former Nagorno-Karabakh autonomous region, which was claimed to be our ancient lands of the beginning of the conflict, proves that the conflict stems from Armenia's intention to forcibly annex Azerbaijani territories. Intensification of the illegal settlement policy in the occupied Azerbaijani regions, including Gubadli by Armenia in recent years, demonstrates that Armenia has not dropped its intentions to preserve our territories under occupation and to strengthen the results of the occupation, and that it isn't interested in peaceful settlement of the conflict. Nagorno-Karabakh community stated that the resolution of the conflict is possible only after the Armenian armed forces leave all of the occupied Azerbaijani territories and the Azerbaijani subjected to ethnic cleansing return to their native lands. 126 cases of the novel coronavirus were recorded in Azerbaijan. 144 people recovered after treatment and were released home. 3 citizens who earlier tested positive for COVID-19 died. The overall confirmed cases in Azerbaijan have reached 36,435, with 33,847 recoveries and 534 deaths. The number of active infections is 2,054. To detect new infection cases, 922,069 tests have been conducted in Azerbaijan so far, reported the task force under the Cabinet of Ministers. That was all for today. Thank you for being with us and see you next time.